Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Vada and today's video is sponsored by Nescafe Classic. Actually it is not, but I always wanted to make an intro like this, So this is what we call in Greece Nescafe Frappe, and you can create this nice and refreshing coffee with Nescafe Classic, and then you add some water and then you beat it with a machine. You can add also sugar if you want, and then you add cold water and ice cubes, and then you create this nice coffee. And if you one day go to Greece and you go to a cafeteria and you will order this Nescafe Frappe, this is how we call it, you can enjoy it all day. So the correct way is that you stay there for 3 hours and enjoy it slowly, or 4, depends. So the idea is to enjoy it slowly on a very hot summer day, or throughout the year, it's okay, we drink it all the time. And today it's a very nice stormy day here in Potsdam. Summer in Potsdam, live the dream, I know. So summer day, but we wanted to feel like we are in Greece and not in Germany, because summer in Germany is not so awesome apparently. Anyways, so we drink coffee and we talk about books, and it's gonna be a nice day. And it's already July. How this June passed so fast. I only read 4 books, but they were all of them good, so it's a win situation. Let's talk about them slowly, one by one. The first book, it is called Old Magic by Marianne Curley. And this is actually a book that I read when I was in high school for first time. So this is a reread, to be honest. And I remember that I liked it so much when I read it for the first time, but it was translated in Greek. So this one is the original version in English. And my sister decided to give this to me as a gift for my birthday. So I was very happy to read again this book, and I can only tell you that my only complaint was that it didn't last longer. So I don't know how was the mindset of the author at that time. This was actually one of her first books, I think, and I only can complain that she didn't want to make this a trilogy or more versions or something, because it has all the good setup to continue this forever. So there are side stories that I would like them to be more evolved, and half of the book, how to say this so we will not have any spoilers. So an event is happening, and this could have lasted for an entire other book, in my opinion. And I would like to see more of this. Actually, I was so sad when I finished it because I couldn't get enough. It wasn't enough. So what is it about? We have a girl who has magical powers somehow, and she goes to her school, and her classmates make fun of her somehow because they don't understand. Actually, she doesn't want to expose her magic to them, and they treat her like an outcast somehow. So and one day there is this guy that comes into the class, and he is called Jarod. I don't know if I pronounced the name correctly, but to me it is Jarod. Maybe there is a different pronunciation. So Jarod enters the class, and suddenly Kate feels like something is wrong with this guy, or something weird is happening. And he tells her grandmother about it, because Kate lives with her grandmother Gillian, and Gillian is also a witch, and she tells her about these supernatural vibes that she gets from Jarod. And apparently Jarod is cursed, and the girl tries to make him believe in this curse so they can help him lift the curse. And so this is how the story starts, and this is what is also written here in the synopsis, so it's not major spoilers. But what is going on, and how they help him, and how he finally thinks that all this maybe is not like a joke, or I mean, in the beginning he thinks that Kate is crazy, like totally crazy, but because he likes her, yeah, he's more, you know, willing to accept crazy stuff. Yeah, so it has a romance, so of course it's like fantasy romance, yeah, but I don't know what I liked more, because my 16 years old self loved it, and my current self also loved it. So yeah, I give it 4.5 stars because it just didn't have more. I don't know, should I give it 5? Maybe 5. I don't know, you can decide. I liked it so much. I will reread it one day again for sure. And look at this cover. How amazing, stunning. Look at this snake that maybe has something to do with the story, or maybe not. And look at those rose trees all around, that this also may have to do something with the story or not. You can find out. But it was a nice story. I loved it, and I recommend it. If you like fantasy romance, and then this is for you. It is also a bit dark, so I don't think it's suitable for ages like 13, 14, even 15 maybe. I don't know, but yeah, be careful, it's a little bit dark. And I think there was a traumatic experience for me, because there is a scene that I remember since the first time I read this book, how traumatizing it was for me. And when I reread it again now, I was like, yes, it is still, yeah. So careful for this. Yeah. But except from that, everything else is perfect. I really enjoyed it and really loved it, and yeah, totally recommend it. Old Magic by Marianne Curley. And the second book I read during June is this Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan. And this book belongs in a duology, and the second book will be released in about 3 weeks from now. So you still have time to read it, to appreciate it, and get into the next one right after. So yeah, this book, some people they say that it is similar to The Court of Thorns and Roses, but I haven't read that book, so I cannot really compare. To me, it had fairies, it had princes, kings, kingdoms, whatever, a very strong bond between sisters, and this is what I loved mostly. This bond, yeah. Actually, I have a sister, I love her so much. So whatever the main character did here, Abriella, this is her name, Abriella, to retrieve back her sister that they so unfairly sold to the dark fairy king, whatever, all of them I approve, and I would do the same things and more to get her back, honestly. So we have two kingdoms, the silly and the unsilly courts, and they, of course they fight each other, yeah, and they don't get along well. And yeah, we have Abriella, and her sister is sold to the unholy king, unsilly king, and yeah, in order for her to get her back, the king asks her to be to go as a spy to the silly court and retrieve some magical items from them. And the story is very nice actually, and intriguing, and there are many nice characters, and of course there is a romance, of course, and there is also a love triangle. And for people who don't enjoy love triangles, yeah, they will not appreciate it much. Me, that I don't mind, to be honest. Yeah, I liked it. And actually I don't know for whom I'm rooting more now, because my feelings changed. So yeah, there are plot twists. I like the plot twists. So maybe it is predictable for people who really read much fairy romances and stuff like this. But to me, that's I think my first fairy romance book, I think. Yeah, so to me it was new and I enjoyed it. And well, the characters are not all great. They are morally grey. Yeah, they do questionable things that make you think, why I even support the character now. I mean, some you just want to punch them in many places. Yeah. So, anyways, they're not also great, but maybe this is what makes this book so nice. The characters with their flaws. Yeah. So I liked it. I gave it 4.5 stars, because now I remember that there is a very nice shower scene, well written. Yes. So for this one, maybe this small 0.5 gets in there and makes the 4.5. Yeah. So it was very nice. I liked it. I liked how Gabriella did everything that she could do in order to get back her sister. There was one thing I didn't like, and that was actually the ending was really good, but there was a part of this that it didn't fit to the rest of the story. So that's where I had some second thoughts, like, why? I mean, you did all of this in order to succeed on this, then why you just wrapped it up in one page or something. So this is what I didn't like, but everything else was very good. So yeah, you can try it, and if you like it, then the second one is coming right after, like in 3 weeks. So yeah, this Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan, second book for June. The third book I read during June was Desperate Measures from Katee Robert, and this belongs also to a trilogy or duology or something. There is a series that it's called Wicked Villains, and yeah, this is the first book in that series, and this is a book that you cannot really put it down, and that's not because of the plot. So the plot is not non-existent. It's supposed to be a retelling of Aladdin, and in this one, Jafar is the good guy and Aladdin is the bad guy. And Jasmine is not a princess, in Agrabah, but she's like the daughter of a very rich person that we don't care much about him. Yeah, so she's the daughter of this guy, and Jafar manages to take his company, and now he thinks that also Jasmine belongs to him. Yeah, that's the plot, the entire plot. So actually, yeah, the entire book is how to put it that nicely now. It is a dark romance, and it's not, because I searched a little bit about the genre of this, it is called consensual non-consent. So, because also you cannot really say what is this exactly, the translation of this is that I like it, but I will pretend that I don't like it. Something like this. Or I want it, but I will pretend that I don't want it. And if I really don't like it, or I really don't want it, then I will say a word. And from all the words that the vocabularies have, and all the related to 1001 Arabian Nights or Aladdin or Agrabah or so many words, they found, this is a spoiler, yeah, here I will put something like spoiler, but I just wanted to say this. They found this word to be Raja. You remember? Or Raja, or yeah, and this is the little tiger, the pet that Jasmine had. So from all the words in this world, in that world, because that's another world with, you know, sex dungeons and things like that. But from all those things, they found this word, this cuteness there, you know. And that was a thing that when you read this book and when they mention Raja, you're like, this cute little tiger. Yes, yeah. So Desperate Measures, I didn't notice this first, but then I made the link with the movie or the book, or yeah. This is something that Jafar tells at some point to Jasmine's father, that desperate times need desperate measures or something like this. So that's how this title went in here. Yeah, the rest of the book is good. It is really good. You cannot just, you know, stop reading it, because actually at some point you don't care much about the plot because it does not exist, as I said, but you care to see how far they will go. And yeah, and actually I don't know, proceed with caution because it's not for everyone. Yeah, you need to think that it has some scenes that you might not want to read about, but if you get into this with the right mindset, then it's gonna be enjoyable. Yes, so I liked it. I want to see what happened to the other characters of the story. At some point, I mean, if you have read this book, let me know, because I have a question or two. And yeah, so yeah, that was the third book I read during June, and I recommend it, but to a certain type of readers, and definitely not for children. Definitely, it's an adult book. Yeah. That was the number 3. I forgot to say that a good suggestion would be to listen to this book on audio. If one day I will want to reread it, then I will definitely listen to this one. Yeah, why not? The 4th book I read during June was The Final Empire from Brandon Sanderson. This is the first book in the trilogy, yes, in the Mistborn trilogy. Now, how to explain this? I liked it. It's not that I didn't like it. I liked it, but it left me staring at the ceiling and cursing the moment that I didn't DNF it at 90%. So most of you probably you have read this book, and maybe I'm the last person on earth that didn't. But so anyways, yeah, this book was great. The majority of it, like most of it, like 90% of it was great. The magic system was amazing. Actually, the most I think it was so advanced and unique, and I've never read something like this before. And the scientist inside me was dancing around, you know, so happy, like, oh, this is happening. Wow, they use elements, they burn elements, and they do, you know, all this, they have all those superpowers because of the elements that they use. And yes, this is how this element could work, or this is how this could, you know, cancel the other or something. And all of these things were so exciting, yes, and the characters were so great, and this found family trope is amazing. So Vin is a girl who lives in the streets of this empire. So there is this empire, the final empire, and there is the dark guy, the Lord Ruler, that he's a tyrant or tyrant, and we don't like him. Nobody likes him. He's horrible. And we follow the story of Vin, and Vin joins a crew that they want to dethrone the Lord Ruler, and she finds out that she's Mistborn, and she can actually use all the qualities that burning metals in her stomach can give her. And she transforms from a street rat, as some people call her, to a very nice noble woman, and gets, you know, infiltrated into the high nobility, and she gives information about how things work in them. And there is a love story, of course, and I liked it so much. But how to avoid all those spoilers now that I want to talk about? So the characters in this book, they are all awesome, but there are some that there are more, you know, favorites than the others. So you will love them, and then you will be disappointed. So major spoiler. So no, forget about it. So you will not love anybody, and you will not be disappointed. That's the mindset to get into this book. Yes. So at 90%, a major event happens, and I had this nice voice into my head. DNF it. Just let it go. Don't read more. Just, you know, Kelly from Kelli Reads A Lot, she recently tagged me to the DNF tag. And I was thinking, yeah, I should have material for this video because I never DNF'd anything before. So, yeah, that's the book. Just do it. But curiosity didn't let me. So I continued. I'm glad I continued, but still there is a bitterness in the end. So when you finish this book, then you question yourself a lot. But anyways, the book was great. The characters were great. I wish I could have more of them, and now, I mean, of course there are more books, so I will keep going and read them and see what is happening. But yeah, what I didn't like sometimes was the politics, because there is too much politic intrigue in here, and at some point, I don't want to say boring, but I will say it was just too much to deal with. Yes, and I was trying to think that, do we care about this now, or why do we care about this now? Yeah, so there were some times that I felt like this, but the majority of this book was great, and I'm so glad that I read it in the end, even if it wasn't the way that I wanted it to be. But yeah, so 4 stars or 3.5, I'm there, because I don't want to judge from a single event. But yeah, but the book is great, so I recommend it, but I don't want to get your feelings hurt as I had mine. So I don't know to who I would recommend it. I mean, in the end, I don't know if reading it was better than not reading it, because yeah, I know. Anyways, we'll see. Because I don't know if I want to read the other books now, but maybe I will. Let's see. For the moment, I want to take a break. I will not read the other books soon, I'm sure of it. But again, characters great, morality, so much morality. So I mean, you read about these characters and you want to be them. This is how well written they are. You want to live their adventures with them, and whatever they do, you can just, you know, have the image in front of your eyes, because this is how well described it is. Also read it if you want to have a good time of crying, because at some point I was crying my heart out. Yeah. Anyways, it is totally recommended, but it's from those books that you like, they hurt you and you like it. Yeah, keep this one. You will get hurt, but maybe at the end you will think that it was worth it. Yeah. Mistborn, Final Empire. I don't know why it doesn't have the Final Empire like in the front. It should be written somewhere. Yeah. I might make another video on it to explain it better when I will not be so sad about it. Yeah, maybe in the future. Stay tuned. So guys, this is it for books for the month of June, and for July I haven't decided yet. We will see, but I will try to finish The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue and The Girl Who Drank the Moon, and those two books actually they're gonna be buddy reads with my friends in MJ's Discord. So yeah, if you would like, you can check this channel and you can join us in this nice buddy reading of those two books. So I already advanced a little bit in them and I already like them, so I would like to continue and see what is going on. But yeah, you know, sometimes you read something and then other books get into the middle of it, and yeah, the same happened with The Master of Jean and The Starless Sea, because I was reading The Master of Jean and now I cannot stop thinking of The Starless Sea. So maybe those will be also things that I will read in July, but we will find out at the end of the month. So yeah, until then, have fun, enjoy life, have a nice time if you go on vacations, and don't forget, if it is a nice summer day, hot, warm, and you are melting from your inside and outside, yeah, don't forget to drink a Nescafe frappe, because it's nice. Yeah. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.